So can anyone summarize what did we study in the last lecture? Anyone? What did we study in the last lecture? Something about pipelining? Anyone? No one remembers anything? Where do we apply pipelining? What is one major condition where you have to apply pipelining? What happened? You don't remember? Nobody remembers anything? We were looking into pipelining. There were certain properties of pipelining. Okay. One thing is when actually what conditions we need pipelining, when we have to repeat one operation, on a certain data stream, again and again. When we have to do that, we can actually divide our operation into sub operations. And in till how we can break it down, the operation, that depends on the size of the operation and whether it's going to be lesser than the delay of the latches. Anybody remembers what is a latch? Something to do with buffer.
So temporarily stored data जब एक से दूसरी जगह भेजते हैं.
या कहाँ से कहाँ ट्रांसफर कर रहे हैं अपन डेटा?
So from one sub operation to another sub operation.
Yeah, very good. So we are transferring the data from one sub operation to the other sub operation. So you have various latches. What are these latches made of? What are these latches made of? Anyone remember?
Set flip-flop.
Yeah, master slave flip-flops. And how do we keep these all sub operations into segments into sync? Like you have to transfer the data from one segment to the other in a proper synchronized manner. How do we do that? How do we do that? We need to have some kind of a synchronization mechanism to keep the flow of data in proper synchronized manner from one segment to the other. Do you remember clock? By the inclusion of clock, all these latches are actually connected to this clock and they are in sync with this clock. So you have a negative edge. Whenever you have a negative edge cycle of the clock, the data is actually transferred from one segment to the other. Hopefully, if you remember this. Okay, what we have seen the degree of overlapping, that is serial and overlapped. We have seen various four or five categories of pipelining, 4 or 5 characteristics of pipelining. One of them is the degree of overlap. This one is not at all a pipeline architecture. This one is a little bit pipeline architecture. It's because it's overlapped, and this one is a complete pipeline architecture. And then the depth of the pipeline. What is the factor on which the depth of the pipeline depends? We discussed it yesterday. Pipeline कब deep होता है? In which condition is the pipeline deep? Depth of the pipeline depends on what? Number of operations, number of sub operations in which we actually divide. So shallow pipeline is the one with the fewer number of stages, and since it's fewer number of stages, individual stages ज़्यादा complex होंगे because we have not broken them down into smaller sub operations. A deep pipeline will have larger number of stages and the individual stages will be simpler. Then we have seen the structure of the pipeline. There are two structures of the pipeline, that is linear pipeline and non-linear pipeline. In linear pipeline, there is only the principle of feed forward, and there is no principle of feedback. So in non-linear pipeline, there is also a principle of feedback and as well as feed forward. What was feedback? Is this diagram having feedback?
output
जो C से A में जा रहे हैं, sir.
So you can go from this sub operation is segment se you can go back to the previous segment. Similarly, you can also go, you're also going from C to B, and in some cases B से A में भी जा सकते होंगे अपन. So this kind of a network, this kind of mechanism is called as a feedback mechanism. So in linear pipelines, feed forward is possible, feedback is not possible. Non-linear में दोनों possible हैं. देन शेड्यूलिंग इनकी स्टैटिक पाइपलाइन जो होता है वो लीनियर को बेसिकली शेड्यूल करता है. So if there is one data which actually stalls and something happens to it, then the whole system actually stalls. And in dynamic pipeline, this should be for the non-linear pipelining, and it doesn't, the system will not stall if one of the data is actually stalled for it. Then we have seen the various reservation tables uh, in this at various time steps, which of the segment was getting used. This is a linear pipeline example, so you can see each of the operation is happening in a linear fashion. And this is the non-linear one, and this is a reservation table for this. So three properties इसमें होती हैं. We have seen what does multiple x's symbolize: contiguous x's or multiple x's in a column, in a row and a column. Row में row in row, what does yeah.
Sir, reservation table में किया नहीं है शायद, sir.
Okay. Reservation table, I think we discussed. Okay. It's just symbolizing ki which of the segments are actually getting used in which of the time steps. So this is time step 1 में S1 use हो रहा है. Just this is an example for one of the instructions, a sample instruction. In time step 2, S2 is getting used. So this is for the linear pipeline. So nothing is getting overlapped in here. Like in non-linear pipeline, where when you will see the which of the segments are getting used for the timelines, you may see some kind of an overlap. So these overlaps are actually symbolized by the characteristics of these pipelines. So there are three of them, that is multiple x's in a row. Multiple x in a row का मतलब क्या होगा? S1 जो है वो एक सब ऑपरेशन है, S2 एक सब ऑपरेशन है, S3 एक सब ऑपरेशन है. ये अलग अलग टाइम स्टेप है, T1 T2 T3 से लेकर T8 तक. अगर मल्टीपल एक्सेस हैं एक रो में, जैसे कि से दिस वन, यह मल्टीपल एक्सेस इन अ रो, व्हाट डज दिस मीन? इसका क्या मतलब होगा? This is a sub operation and it's getting repeatedly used in various time steps. So this means as a multiple x's in a row. So that's how you can make like you can have an instruction, say add LOCA, LOCB, and for that you can actually write if you have actually broken down it into various sub segments, कि इसको एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए तीन सब सेगमेंट्स यू कैन एक्चुअली मेक सब ऑपरेशंस. तो और उसका इफ यू हैव टू इम्प्लीमेंट इन टर्म्स ऑफ अ लीनियर पाइपलाइन, सॉरी नॉन लीनियर पाइपलाइन, देन यू कैन एक्चुअली मेक कि कौन सा सब ऑपरेशंस एंड विच ऑफ द टाइमलाइंस विल गेट रिपीटेड. So this S1, since it's normal example, it's not covering a specific case. इसका मतलब ये होगा multiple x's in a row का मतलब ये वाला S1 operation is getting used in T1, T6 and T8. Similarly for S2 is getting used in T2 and T4. Multiple x's in a column का क्या मतलब होगा? If you have say this one here, what will it mean? For T3 time step, S2 and S4. In T3 time step, S2 and S3 both are performing together. Is it possible? Is it feasible? In terms of अगर अपन क्लोथ वॉशिंग का एग्जांपल लें तो is it possible? क्या कोई क्लोथ एक ड्राइंग स्टेज में और कोई क्लोथ आयनिंग स्टेज में हो सकता है एक ही टाइम में? हो सकता है. That is what is pipelining. So multiple x's in a column का मतलब ये हुआ. Then you have contiguous x's. So this is also symbolizing कि each of the this one sub operation is actually happening for other time steps in a continuous manner. So if you are feeding it with continuous data, then this kind of symbolization in a reservation table is possible. So ये basically 3 property बता रहा है, तीनों चीज़ें pipelining की हैं, उनको बताने का एक तरीका है. अगर if you relate it with the example we discussed yesterday, cloth washing वाला, you remember the cloth washing example? Anyone? You remember 3 stages? What were the 3 stages in cloth when you have to completely wash it out? What is the 3 stages? Washing, second stage, drying and ironing. So what was the time required to complete it? T. And for individual time you needed T by 3, T by 3, T by 3. Hopefully if you remember this, because is examples, if you correlate everything, it will make things very easy for you. Now today we'll see various speed up and efficiencies criteria through which जिससे अपन नाप सकते हैं, through which we can actually measure what is the clock period, what's the efficiency, what is the efficiency, speed up efficiency compared to non-pipelining and all those stuff. So what we'll do, we'll take an example and through that only we'll try to do this. Just a minute. Can you see the slides, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's take an example. I'm taking a normal example. A I plus B I plus C I. This is multiplication. So for I equals to 1, 2 till 5. This is our example. What is this doing? यहाँ क्या हो रहा है, कोई बता सकता है? AI into BI plus CI, and I is varying from 1 to 5. We have to perform this instruction, we have to complete this instruction. Let's see how we can represent it. So you'll have AI. Firstly you'll have to put them into registers. So पहले multiplication के लिए we'll put it inside, say, R1. Then you have BI. You remember we have transfer everything into registers first, then we need to perform all the operations. Then we'll put it into a multiplier. Then the value of this multiplication A and B will be put into R3, and the C value will be put into R4, into one more register. Then they both together will be put inside. अब अपने को क्या करना है, एडिशन की सब्ट्रैक्शन या मल्टीप्लिकेशन? Into an adder, and then finally the output will be stored inside R5. So yeah, इस डायग्राम को देख के कोई आइडिया लगा what are we doing? You need to perform firstly AI into BI, then add the result with CI and store it into some place. So अपन सारे काम कैसे करते हैं? We put all the data inside a register. So AI को firstly you transfer into R1, BI transfer into R2, and C right now we don't need it. So in this stage, this is the first stage that you actually transfer. This is the first segment. You can call it as first segment. Then in the second segment, you need to perform the multiplication and put it inside, say, R3. So you have R3 and R4. So this is segment number 2. And then finally you have a segment where you do addition and put segment number 3 into this. So 3 segment में we have actually divided our work. यहाँ तक clear है सबको? Everyone यहाँ तक clear है what we have done?
सर सेगमेंट किस हिसाब से डिवाइड किया, कैन यू एक्सप्लेन वंस?
ये AI पहले अपन मल्टीप्लिकेशन करेंगे, सबसे पहले अपन ट्रांसफ़र करेंगे डेटा जो है रजिस्टर के अंदर. So the first operation is transferring the data of A and B into registers. ठीक है, उसके बाद अपन उसको मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. सो द सेम स्टेज में मल्टीप्लिकेशन में अपन C के भी डेटा को एक रजिस्टर में डाल सकते हैं. And then you can have finally you can have the addition of both stored into R5. So पहला ऑपरेशन ये होगा. Is it fine कि पहला मल्टीप्लिकेशन होगा? Why not addition? पहले तो अपने पास डेटा रखना पड़ेगा ना अपन. If we talk in terms of say what is it, पहले इंस्ट्रक्शन अपन fetch करते हैं, then what we do, we decode the operands, then we actually execute, then we store it into buffer. So you have read and write. So instruction fetch करने के बाद you actually do the decoding. So we are storing the values into a register. यहाँ तक clear है? Anyone? Is it clear till now? अच्छा, let's write down the table for it. I think उससे थोड़ा सा clear और होगा. We'll see for each clock pulse what will happen. You have segment number 1. You have R1 and R2. You have segment number 2. You have R3 and R4. And then finally you have segment number 5, which is R5. Sorry, R5. I'm writing this table for all the clock pulses. Let's see how it will look like. Okay, for the first clock pulse, कहाँ से कहाँ तक अपना डेटा आ रहा है? Ri की वैल्यू सबसे पहले I equals to 1. So what will be the value? First values here in the R1, A1 and B1, right? Am I right? A1, B1.
Yes sir.
Okay, in the second stage, this A1, B1 will go to the next segment. So it will be what you have to do, multiply. So it will be A1 multiplied by B1 and C1 data will also come into R4 क्योंकि ये C1 data जो है वो R4 में आ रहा है. ठीक है, ये क्लियर हुआ सेकेंड स्टेज. यहाँ पर अपन को A2, B2. Is it clear? Second stage. In the first stage A1, B1 अपना डेटा स्ट्रीम था. क्यों? क्योंकि अपन 1 I की जो वैल्यू है वो 1 से लेकर 5 तक कर रहे हैं. सबसे पहले I इक्वल्स टू 1 के लिए डील कर रहे हैं. तो A1, B1 की वैल्यू अपन ने R1 और R2 में फीड की. फर्स्ट क्लॉक पल्स में R1 और R2 में A1, B1 की वैल्यू चली गई. नेक्स्ट सेकेंड क्लॉक पल्स में जो A1, B1 की वैल्यू दैट गोज इनटू द सेकेंड सेगमेंट. सो आई शुड राइट सेकेंड सेगमेंट. And there the multiplication of A1 B1 will happen and it will be put inside R3, and in the same time C1 का data will be put inside R4. Third stage, can anyone complete this third stage for me?
Sure.
Yeah.
So A2 B2 कहाँ से आया सर?
Okay. फर्स्ट इन द फर्स्ट क्लॉक पल्स I इक्वल्स टू 1 होगा. सेकेंड क्लॉक पल्स में I इक्वल्स टू 2 होगा. फिर I इक्वल्स टू, ठीक है?
यस सर.
ठीक है, तो सेकेंड स्टेज में जो A की वैल्यू जो व्हाट इज दिस सिंबलाइजिंग? ये अपना डेटा स्ट्रीम को सिंबलाइज कर रहा है. पहले I इक्वल्स टू 1 मतलब A1 B1, देन यू हैव A2 B2, देन यू हैव A3 B3 एंड सो ऑन टिल 5. थर्ड के लिए क्या होगा? कैन एनीबॉडी फिल?
A3 B3.
A3 B3. What will come here?
A2, B2 and C2
A2 multiplied by B2,
multiplied by
and the value of C2 will come here. And what will happen here? यहाँ पे क्या करना है अपने को?
A1 into B1 plus C1.
Yeah, so it will come something like A1 into B1. I should write this in the other page. I think it will be more clear. बेसिकली तुमको सारे स्ट्रीम्स के लिए देखना है, आई से लेकर आई जहाँ तक जा रहा है वहाँ तक के लिए। इसको सेगमेंट में अपन ने बांटा है जो, वो अलग अलग रजिस्टर्स के लिए। सेगमेंट 1, सेगमेंट 2 you have R3, R4, then you have segment 3, here you have R5. So first clock pulse, what was it? A1, B1, then nothing will come. Second में I यहाँ है I equals to 1. In this case I equals to 2, so it will come as A2, B2. Here it will be A1 into B1, and then you will have C1. I equals to 3. थर्ड क्लॉक पल्स में यहाँ पर आएगा A3, B3. What was here? What will come here? A2
A2 into
into B2, and then C2, and then finally what will be here? A1 into B1 plus C1. Then I equals to 4, and the fourth time step इसमें आएगा A4, B4. Can you fill this for me? Anyone? Can you fill for the segment 2? I4,
A3 into B3 and
A3
C3.
into B3 and C3. And what will come here? A2 into
A2
B2
into plus C.
plus, sorry, this one is C1, this will be C2. ठीक है? Then I equals to 5 पर A5, B5, you have A4 into B4, C4. What will come here? A3
A3 into B3 plus C3.
plus C3. Then you have I equals to 6. Something will come here or not?
No,
So-
sir.
So it will be blank. यहाँ क्या आएगा? A5 into B5, C5. What will come here? A4,
A4 into 4 plus C4.
B4 plus C4. Then finally I equals to 7. This is not 7 actually. We're just completing it for the 7th step. So something will come here?
No, sir. No, sir.
No. So this is also done. So finally our work is done with all the segments B5 plus C5. Yeah. And then it will be generated. ठीक है, तो अपना जो डेटा स्ट्रीम है that is moving from I1 से लेकर 5 तक. We are doing 3 steps into this. That is, firstly we need to feed the data values into various registers. That is A and B value into R1 and R2. Then we'll multiply both of them, keep it into R3. At the same time, we can have the value of C into one of the registers, that is R4. Then we can take both the values and add it and put it inside R5. इसलिए 3 segment अपन ने बांटे. You have 3 segments into it. The first segment is putting the data inside the registers, क्योंकि इसके बिना you can't do actually the addition. The second segment, you actually have the multiplication storing into the one register and taking the C variable, C data into the other register. And in the third segment, you actually adding both the sides into together and putting it inside R5. यहाँ तक clear है this and the this chart? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. So how many cycles are needed to actually solve this instruction? Can you tell from this chart, from this table, how many cycles are needed?
7.
7. And how many segments are there?
3.
3.
So you have cycles equals to 7 and you have segments equals to 3. What does this segment mean? That we have divided our work into three sub operations, right? So for a non-pipeline, if we do it for a non-pipelined architecture, if we do the same thing with a non-pipelined architecture, can anybody guess in what will be the how many cycles we will need to actually solve it? Anyone? अगर अपना input 5 है, यहाँ पे I equals to 1 to 5 था, so our input is 5. So you will need, and the thing is, if you need 3 cycles for one unit, so it will be 15 cycles if you are doing it with non-pipelined architecture. If you have like, let's write it down here, you have sequential. Can you call the non-pipelined architecture as a sequential architecture? Sequential and pipeline. You can actually have a comparison with various values of n. N is actually telling you about how many inputs are there. So in our case, it was 5. So if you have n equals to 5, for sequential, it will be 3 into 5, that is equals to 15. If you are needing 3 cycles for one input for a non-pipelined architecture. But similar thing, if we have done, if you're doing, if you're trying to solve it with the pipelined architecture, कितने cycle लगे अपने को? How many cycles did we need for n equals to 5? 7.
Yes, sir.
Okay. For 6, what will be the value? 3 into 18. What will be the, इसमें कितना लगेगा, इस पाइपलाइन में
8.
कितना लगेगा?
8.
8 लगेगा. For n, this will be 3, 7, 21, and you can see there is a clear-cut difference between the amount of cycles needed when we are actually trying to solve it, when you're actually trying to do it with a pipelined architecture. ये जब n की वैल्यू बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, then you can actually see the clear-cut difference. What will be the major difference when n की value will be like in lakhs or something, then you will actually see the major difference in between both of them. So one concept is there which is called the pipeline cycle time. Pipeline cycle time. This means that minimum time in which all segments can perform their respective sub operations. So it's the minimum time which is required in for each of the sub operations to complete their task. That is called as a pipeline cycle time. Okay, in definition wise, we can write like this. In the previous example, each clock pulse at each of the clock pulse, minimum amount of time which was needed to actually complete or perform for one segment is called as a pipeline cycle time, and it is actually symbolized by TP. Some places also symbolized by tau, but we are looking at TP. So some general considerations for general consideration about pipeline. We'll see some of the definitions, like consider a K segment. What does K segment means? किसका segment कर रहे हैं अपन? What are we segmenting? with clock cycle. What is this k segment? क्या ये k segment किसको k कर रहे हैं, किसको k में टाइम्स में डिवाइड कर रहे हैं?
Pipeline.
सॉरी, n task. Yeah, so you have k, you have tp, you have n. What is this k?
Number of segments.
किसका सेगमेंट कर रहे हैं? what are we segmenting?
So number of operations.
So number of operations, या फिर उसको अपन सब ऑपरेशंस भी कहते हैं, इसी को अपन सेगमेंट भी कहते हैं. So number of operations, number of sub operations, number of operations in which we have divided our main task. This is also called as this is divided into k segments. Then you have the TP amount of time which is required by each of the segment to perform their action, perform their operation, and then you have n number of data to be performed. Like in the previous example, n की value 5 थी, k की value 3 थी, tp की value was not given to you. It may be given in some part of a numerical, but this depends on architecture and the requirement to requirement. So just a minute. Then we'll see with yeah. So time required to perform the first task, the time required to perform the first task in this case was how much? पहला जो ऑपरेशन यहाँ से निकला परफॉर्म होके वो कितने टाइम के बाद निकला एक्चुअली? कैन एनीबडी टेल मी? इज देयर अ रिलेशन विद द सेगमेंट्स वी हैव डन? अगर TP टाइम इज फॉर द each of the segment is taking to perform their action, how much time is actually taken by the
Sir,
first operation?
Sir, the
Yeah.
general notation is n+2 times t by 3.
Yeah, so in this case, can you write it down in terms of segment? Can we write for the first operation k into TP? Can we do that? For the first operation, just for the first operation. K into TP. टाइम्स लगेगा ना, पहले सेगमेंट को जो वो पूरा कर लेगा, तीनों सेगमेंट्स पूरे करने के बाद जो टाइम टोटल लगेगा, तीनों टाइम्स को मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. ईच ऑफ द सेगमेंट इज टेकिंग TP टाइम. सो के ऑल द सेगमेंट मल्टीप्लाइड ऑल सारे टाइम्स का, सारे सेगमेंट्स का टाइम जितना लगेगा, दैट विल बी टेकन एज द फर्स्ट time taken for the first task. Then you have time required to perform the remaining n minus 1 tasks. That will be n minus 1 into TP, right? Then you just have to actually sum it up for total time. Total time is how much? KTP plus n minus 1 TP, which will, yeah,
So second वाले में k into n.
sorry.
So second वाले में k into n minus 1 into TP नहीं होगा क्या?
You would need, नहीं क्यों नहीं होगा बताता हूँ मैं तुमको. जैसे जब say for this, इसके लिए example wise you can see your water is actually flowing through the pipe. First पहले पानी उसमें नहीं आता है, but when you turn on the tap actually some कुछ delay के बाद उसमें पानी आने लगता है. The water starts coming from the pipe. लेकिन after that उसमें the water in the pipe will keep flowing till what time? उसमें कब तक पानी आता रहेगा? till the moment you turn off the tap. The moment you turn off the tap, water will stop coming. So जितना time उसको delay, चाहे however long the pipe is, like 1 kilometer pipe में भी जितना delay लगे उसको पहला initial water को flow करने में, उसके बाद जो next operation है फिर वो तो हर next time step में आता रहेगा. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
So that's why पहले time step में you would need actually KTP time, that is the delay total amount of time. उसके बाद का next operations will follow in each of the clock cycles. So इसमें in this it was possible after three time steps, 3 time cycles in the previous example. उसके बाद fourth से each output was generating. So in this example you can see the first output was generated after 3 TP, then 4 TP, then 5, then 6, right? ये clear है क्यों नहीं हुआ K? Is it clear? So when you add both of them, you will actually get K plus n minus 1 TP. This is the total time which is required to perform a task. We can actually verify this with the previous example. In the previous example, K की value कितनी थी? What was the K's value in the previous example? 3.
3.
N की value कितनी थी? 5. Data कितना था? I से 1 to 5 था ना? Put it in this formula. What you get? 3 plus 5 minus 1 into some TP, which we are not mentioning that. Let's not consider this. This will give us number of cycles. So this is how much? 7. इसमें 7 cycles हैं. There are 7 cycles in it. Is it clear? Is it clear? अच्छा, इसमें अपन ने we are not taking one delay into consideration. Can you name that? If you remember with the previous lecture, one delay we are not considering right now. One form of the delay. If you remember, anyone?
Buffer.
हाँ, buffer. Latch का जो delay है, that we are not considering here. We'll discuss that in the later when we'll discuss hazards and those stuff. But right now अपने को cycles define हुई, उसको अपन ने multiply किया total time pipeline cycle time से, उससे we have actually calculated what will be the how many number of cycles will be required. So as soon as one output comes out of the pipeline, the next output starts coming out at each time cycle. That's why K is not here. ये concept सबको clear हुआ? क्यों पहले के लिए K TP चाहिए, next और remaining के लिए n-1 TP चाहिए? Is this point clear with everyone? That this actually goes back to the definition of pipelining, how a pipeline actually or any pipe actually works. कि data जब the moment the data starts flowing out of the pipe, it will keep flowing till you stop the input stream. ठीक है? Is it clear? Is it clear? Tell me, it's an important concept. So you have one more principle that is called as a speed up ratio. Okay, इसके name से ही clear है. So what we are trying to do is trying to measure the efficiency of a non-pipelined in comparison to a pipelined architecture. So if you write it something like, if the speed up ratio is n, it means pipelined architecture is n times faster than, if the speed up ratio is n, it means that a pipelined architecture is n times faster than what? What is the counter of the pipelined architecture? Sequential non-pipelined architecture, right? pipeline architecture. So you can actually write it something like this: speed up ratio is equals to non-pipeline time divided by pipeline time, which can also be written as how much time is needed for a non-pipelined architecture. If you remember, अपन ने यहाँ डिस्कस किया है. How much time? Anyone? In this example, we discussed when we are comparing it with sequential and pipeline.
15.
Can you write it in terms of the symbol? Can we write it like n into TP? Can we do this? N is the number of data items and TP is the pipeline cycle, the time required by the each segment. And in case of this, one cycle, one segment. And what is the time required by the pipeline? Pipeline cycle time, pipeline architecture में क्या होता है? कितना होता है? We just calculated for n task. Just calculated how much is it? K plus n minus 1 by TP, K into TP minus 1 TP, right? This is a speed up ratio. But the thing is that as the number, you can imagine the real life scenario, as the number of tasks increases, it means that the value of n will become very large in comparison with the k. So what we can do is we can ignore the value of k minus 1 from the equation number 1. अगर इन रियल लाइफ सिनारियो में जो इनपुट स्ट्रीम होता है n की वैल्यू वो k से बहुत बड़ा होगा. एग्रीड? डू यू एग्री विथ मी ऑन दिस स्टेटमेंट? The value of n in the real world scenario will be very large in comparison with k. So we can actually ignore k minus 1 from this equation number 1. Agreed? Can we write it something like this, and then ntp divided by ntp, sorry, ntn, this will be ntn, ntp, so nn will get cancelled. You will have tn, by tp. Do you agree with this? This is also called as an ideal case. So in the real world scenario, what happens is the value of n becomes very large in comparison with k. So you can actually ignore the value of k minus k and k minus 1 from the above equation. When you take this into consideration in the above equation, you get this formula, that is, I should write it separately also, it's very important. S equals to, you can write it S or S max. S max equals to Tn by Tp. So when we have actually ignored the value of k minus 1 from the equation number 1, why did we ignore the value of k? Why did we ignore? Why did we ignore, anyone? Value of k?
So n will become too large in respect of k, so we can ignore.
What is n?
So number of operations.
The input data, the task we have to perform. So in real world scenario, you can imagine this will be very long, very big number in comparison with the segments we have actually divided sub operations. So ज़्यादा ही होगा. So in our formula it doesn't mean that much. So that's why S max की value जो है वो है Tn by Tp in the ideal case, or the S when we are actually calculating S max. So there is one situation we'll discuss later in that is called as S idle. This is not idle, this is S max. ideal situation is when both the time for the pipeline as a non-pipeline will be similar, will be same. So what will be the trend, and the speed up ratio से अपन we can guess one thing is that speed up can never be more than the value of k, that is the number of segments we have divided. So from that you can actually verify your answer कि जो speed up की value आएगी वो that will always be less than equals to k, and we can see in the trends also we'll have a chart कि n की value k की value and n की value what how they are actually varying for that. Okay, इसमें anyone have any doubt in this? इसको एक बार देखना. I'm trying to yeah.
सर टीएन और टीपी में सर फर्क है सर. टीपी तो शायद इंडिविजुअल टाइम हो गया सर.
इनको पाइपलाइन का टाइम हो गया और एन जो है वो नॉन पाइपलाइन का हो गया. टीएन जो है
तो सर टीएन तो सर मतलब टीपी हो गया जैसे सर एक सेगमेंट का टाइम ना.
ये इस दिस इज फॉर द मैक्सिमम टाइम व्हेन वी आर कैलकुलेटिंग.
जैसे टीपी जो टीपी है स्पेशली टीपी.
दिस इज हाउ यू विल एक्चुअली कैलकुलेट इन टाइप दिस वन k + n-1 जिसमें कि सेगमेंट्स को भी कंसीडर करेंगे. ये नॉन पाइपलाइन में सेगमेंट्स को तो कंसीडर करेंगे ही नहीं. देयर इज नो सेगमेंटेशन दैट. हर जो ऑपरेशन होगा हाउ मेनी साइकिल्स दैट इज एक्चुअली नीडिंग. सो ये नॉन पाइपलाइन के केस में होगा. ठीक है,
टीपी छोटा होगा टीएन से.
टीपी छोटा होगा ये तो वैरी करता है, डिपेंड करता है कि टोटल टाइम एक सेगमेंट को कितना चाहिए होगा, मतलब पाइपलाइन और नॉन. ये तो मतलब ये डिपेंड करेगा आर्किटेक्चर और प्रॉब्लम के ऊपर कि तुमको दिया रहेगा, ऐसा कोई जरूरी नहीं है.
सर टीपी बढ़ गया सर तब तो सर स्पीड अप रेशियो के उल्टा सर स्लो हो गया सर. ये तो अगर
वो
टीपी
अपन तो के से मेजर कर रहे हैं ना, के से. स्पीड अप रेशियो सेगमेंट से अगर अपन देखें कितने सेगमेंट अपन बांट रहे हैं, समझ रहे हो. वे एक न्यूमेरिकल करेंगे, विल सी कि वो क्या आता है उसकी वैल्यू. ठीक है.
यस सर.
तो एक बार इसको देखना तुम लोग, थोड़ा सा एग्जांपल्स के थ्रू है, बट इसमें इसके थ्रू इजी क्या रहेगा कि ऑल द फार्मूलाज विल बी वेरी क्लियर टू यू. एफिशिएंसी क्या होती है, हाउ मच पाइपलाइन साइकिल टाइम इज देयर, ईच सेगमेंट क्लॉक साइकिल टाइम क्या होता है, स्पीड अप रेशियो क्या होता है, ऑल दीज फार्मूलाज आर गिवन. But I think through this example some things will be clear to you, or difference in the proper comparison between a sequential and a non-sequential architecture, or in comparison with various data streams also you can try. Then these ratios एक बार इसको give it a look and ask, we'll discuss normal example numerical also this, so things will get a little bit more clear. ठीक है. So I'll take attendance, just a minute. Yeah, okay. Thank you everyone. You may leave.